and welcome to your new Chromebook device. So when you first get it, you're going to need to locate a power button and make sure that you've turned it on. My power button is on the right-hand side. There's a little button right here. It has a circle with a little line in it. That indicates it's the power button. Typically, when you open your Chromebook, it automatically comes on, but if it doesn't, then that's where you're going to need the power button. So I press the power button and it says Chrome, and that indicates that it is loading up. We'll wait just a second. Once it comes on, you're going to be given a login screen. It says sign on to your Chromebook. So right here, it says enter your email. So you're going to type in your student number. You do not need to type in your full student email address because if you notice on the right-hand side, it already says @students.lmsd.org. That's the rest of your email address. And that stays here. That automatically appears on a district-issued Chromebook. If you're using a Chromebook from some other place, like a personal Chromebook, you won't see that. But on our district-issued Chromebooks, this is already built in. So you only have to type in your S012345 or whatever your student number is. So you'll type that in and you'll press next. I'm going to do that on my own. The next screen is going to ask you for your password. You're going to simply type in your password, ABCD, something, 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 something. There's a blue next button at the bottom. You'll press that. And you'll notice that it automatically opens up Chrome. You'll also notice that there's really only a few parts to the Chromebook. It's different than a MacBook. Your dock, which is the icons at the bottom, only has 3 items. It has Google Chrome, your files, and Google Drive. When you open Chrome on your Chromebook, you'll notice that it comes up to this landing page. This page has 4 different icons that are very, very useful for Chromebook users. You have Google Classroom, Blackboard, ClassLink, and the elementary links page. Now, if for some reason you opened up Chrome and you didn't end up on this page and you want to get back to it, you can use the little tiny home symbol way at the top here. There should be a little home, and that will automatically take you back to this. This is the home screen on a Chromebook. If you need to access your teacher's Google Classroom, simply click this and it will automatically log you in. That's what's pretty cool about a Chromebook, because it knows who you are because you had to use your Google ID in order to access your Chromebook to begin with. So you would be able to select your class from this list, and it should look familiar to you. If you select your class, and you should see your stream, your classwork, and all the information that you need directly on your Google Classroom. You'll notice you have tabs across the top. So if you want to go back into that first home screen and say I need to get to a website that's not in Google Classroom, I can use the elementary links page here. And I can see what my choices are. I also can use ClassLink, which is on the elementary links page. If I use ClassLink, now depending on how I have my ClassLink account set up, if I've activated the sign in with Google option, I can click that. If I haven't activated that sign in with Google option, then I type in my username and password. I'm going to do that now. The username and password that you use to sign into ClassLink should just be your S0 number and your ABCD. You do not need to type in the whole email address to get into ClassLink. You'll see here on ClassLink all of the different websites that I have access to. So say I wanted to get into Keyboarding Without Tears, I could just click right here on that K for keyboarding, and then it would open up keyboarding in a new tab. Some of the other things to know about using your Chromebook: again, you can easily access Google Drive by clicking right down here, and you'll see your Google Drive. Your files in the center here at the bottom is going to show you anything that you may have downloaded. If you downloaded a file, a photo or something, it will show up here in your files icon. The other thing that's very useful to know about a Chromebook is in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little tiny circle. If I tap on this circle, it brings up what's called the apps menu. And if I pull up here, I can make it nice and big, and you'll see these are the apps that I have available on my Chromebook. So I have Chrome, Files, Google Drive, a camera, my settings, Explore, Web Store, Chrome Canvas, and Zoom. You're not going to need all of those, but you will probably be using Zoom. So you can click right here to access Zoom. Although if you have a link in your Google Classroom, that's a faster way to get to your class. But if for some reason you needed to get to Zoom without a link and you wanted to type in a code, that your teacher gave you, you could do it from here. If you needed to access your camera to take a picture of something, there's the camera icon. If you needed to get into the settings because something wasn't working as expected, you could do that from here as well. Now I'm going to drag this down, and now I can see my screen again. This is my Google Drive screen. Actually, I have files on top. So I'm going to close out the files, and here's my Google Drive screen. So again, I'm going to review this little circle in the corner by tapping on it. It brings up the apps. To make it bigger, because right now they're small and they don't show you everything, there's a little tiny sort of a up arrow, and you can slide it up, and then you'll see them larger, and you can slide them down. One last thing that's useful to know about your Chromebook is how to access the settings, things like volume or brightness on your screen. In the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the clock and a little battery icon and a Wi-Fi symbol. If you tap on that, it brings up this control panel. This control panel includes very useful things like the volume slider or brightness. So if your screen is too dark or you want to brighten it a little bit, you'll have a brightness slider at the bottom. You also can see which Wi-Fi network you're connected to, whether or not Bluetooth is activated, and a bunch of other features